bit like Vegas meets Vatican, you know. Um, on one hand, you have the holy shrine of Imam Reza, and this whole, the city is built around it. You have the Imam Reza endowment, Aslan Quds Razavi, which is like one of the biggest conglomerates, economical conglomerate in Middle East. They do everything from tomato paste to construction, and they own, I think more real estate in Iran, not only in the province but also in other places in Iran. And I don't know any other entity that owns as much, and they don't pay taxes, of course. So it is a real, they say, and as many of you know, like it's like whoever is running Mashhad is the Shah of Khorasan, and Mashhad has been, it has a lot of symbolic value also for Islamic Republic, because it's like the crown jewel, or supposed to be the crown jewel of Islamic Republic. Supposed to be where the perfect society comes together with the perfect people, and the streets are clean, and all the pilgrims are coming from all over the world to go to the holy place. The only thing is, turns out these guys, they want to go and cleanse their soul, but they also need to have some fun afterwards. So there is like prostitution starting right outside of the shrine and going on, and this is not something like a fictional something that I've read some. I mean, and I'm sure again many of you've been there. And when I was, every time I've been there, I've seen like, I don't know, 14-year-olds in the street, like trying to get people's attention. So it is this really strange combination of it's religious, and it's they try to make the best out of it, and they show the best face of the Islamic Republic. At the same time, it has all these other aspects, and also the fact that it's very strategically placed close to like I think 3 different borders, and en route from Afghanistan is like, it's like a major drug trafficking hub. And I think to recreate that, of course, if we there are 2 ways of doing this. Like, if let's say you want to make a movie in Paris, and one way is like try to recreate the Eiffel Tower. Say, oh, you need to have Eiffel Tower in every shot behind, like in the background. The other is like to say, okay, so what is it that Paris look like, and the atmosphere is, and people are, and whatever that doesn't look wrong in that, it would look like Paris, if you have attention to detail. And that's how we did it. And turns out that in Mashhad, as in Amman in Jordan, as in Tehran, as in Istanbul, as in many of these bigger cities in Middle East, there has been this rapid urbanization in 60s and 70s, and there's like big concrete buildings and the dusty neighborhoods, and so they're actually architecturally they're a lot the same. And because basically all these governments are super corrupt, you also see that you have this nice neighborhoods, like in Tehran, like in Mashhad, like in Amman, that are some like a special place, and then as you go out, there are slums. And one thing I have to say, which is not exactly connected to this, but we were looking for locations for this for a couple of years, and we were in Turkey, and then we got kicked out of Turkey thanks to the Iranian government, and then Jordan. And a lot of the times we would go to places, to these slums in Turkey, like strange places, or like outside of Amman in Jordan, and people who lived there, people who lived in the worst slums, they were like, usually a lot of them were Syrian families. And when you ask them, these are the people that our government, the government, or not our government, but the government, the Islamic Republic, they have been directly involved into wrecking their lives. So going to these places, it was actually like you were daily reminded of what a shitty government Islamic Republic is, and it's, I hate to say it, but I usually am not on the side of like hawkish Republicans, but a lot of the things that these guys have been saying about Islamic Republic is true, really, and you feel it that way. You feel it in the region. Anyways, going back to the the how of it, I think also it has to do with like how much you really care, because you have, on one hand, we had the Islamic Republic who didn't want to let us do this and didn't create problems for us, and on the other hand you also have this whole Western way of looking at Middle East, which is like, we don't give a shit if you're Arab or Turk or Iranian or whatever, and if you look at Homeland, or if you look at like all these other shows and movies about Middle East, they do have the resources, but they just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like they don't care like if Islamabad is different from Riyadh, is different from Tehran. For them it's just some brown people who talk in like a strange language. And we felt, as people who are from Iran, who know the culture, and I'm the same, and with Zar, that we're born and raised there, we had a kind of responsibility to at least like get the factual stuff right.
Killed it.